Welcome to this presentation, which will help you put together the pieces of the puzzle to create your literature review. A literature review surveys scholarly articles. These are the peer-reviewed scholarly journal articles, books, dissertations, and conference proceedings. And the purpose of a literature review is to offer an overview of the significant literature that has been published on a topic. So you'll read and read and read and read, and will pull together the most significant research that has been published on your topic. Now notice what you can use: scholarly articles, books, dissertations, and conference proceedings. I would stick with this order because basically everything has to be juried in, but the most important research, the most important literature will be in your scholarly articles. A literature review is not an annotated bibliography, so don't give me a citation that a paragraph, a citation, and a paragraph. That's not a literature review. It's not a list of sources. It's not a list that describes or summarizes one piece of literature after another. It is a synthesis of the research. It is not based on personal opinion. So no personal opinion in this. It doesn't matter what you think or what your institution thinks. You are doing a review of the research that has been published on your topic. There are 3 types of literature reviews, and you will be doing a narrative literature review. There are 4 stages to a literature review. Stage 1 is problem formulation. By now you should already have figured out what the initial problem is that is causing your institution to create a new program. And so the problem formulation is this time period when you're examining the topic and deciding what are the issues that are associated with this topic. Stage 2 is the actual literature search, when you're going out and looking for materials relevant to the subject you're exploring. We have 2 institutional librarians here in Asheville who would be more than willing to help, and I will help guide you as well. Stage 3 is to evaluate. Now that you have all of these stacks of research in front of you, these stacks of articles and books, during stage 3, you have to go through and determine which of these items makes a significant contribution to understanding your topic. Stage 4 is analysis and interpretation, and this is when you synthesize the findings and conclusions of this literature that you have selected. So, how do we begin actually writing? First, you'll have your introduction. This tends to be about 1 page, 1 to 2 paragraphs. And in this introduction, you want to drive home the importance of this topic nationally. Yes, we know it's important to you locally, but you need to start nationally using national numbers, and this brings the reader into the problem immediately. Then you would end with the importance of this topic locally. So, perhaps you're looking at a shortage in a particular field. You would talk about what the shortage is nationally, what impact that will have, and then use numbers. And then you would end with what your local numbers would be, what this means locally to have this shortage. In these 1 to 2 paragraphs, you'll be defining and identifying your topic, the issue or area of concern. And so this provides context for the rest of your literature review. After the introduction comes the body. And the body needs to be organized by topic. APA shows you how to use levels of heading, and you would use those levels of heading to help you organize. The introduction does not need a topic or a heading because it is the introduction, but after that you would organize by topic. You would synthesize the research that you've been reading. So instead of summarizing each article, you would pull together the information that several articles provide, state that information, and then have your citations at the end. Again, APA shows how to do this, and I will have some samples posted to help. I'll also be happy to work with you. Don't forget that there are some other items you will have to include in this literature review. You'll have to talk about your target population. Who is it who will be your program participants? What are the skills that they are likely to enter this program with? What will their academic backgrounds be? What are their characteristics? You will also want to include the content of this proposed curriculum. So while you won't particularly list classes, because this is a literature review, you'll need to find research that talks about what are the skills and the content that people need to be successful in this particular field that this program will be training folks to enter. And you'll want to be sure to include your educational strategies that are most appropriate for this program and to fit the needs of your target learners. The best order for organizing all of this, I tend to organize by the rationale for the program, then I discuss the population. And notice I put populations. You may have, for example, two populations. You may have some folks who are returning adults coming in with one set of characteristics, and you may have your traditional college-age students who will have a different set of characteristics. So you may have several target populations. And then as to which comes next, I tend to do the curriculum and content and skills, and then instructional strategies. But the best order varies. If you can come up with a reason to put these in a different order, that's fine. You may want to integrate content with strategies, in that it may be that some content is best delivered using specific strategies. That's up to you. And the research. And the conclusion. In this, you'll summarize, maintaining the focus you will have established in the introduction on that first page. You want to re-emphasize the rationale behind your program, why we need it. APA talks about levels of heading, and the levels of heading allow you to organize your literature review in a topical manner. And again, when you're looking at peer-reviewed journal articles, they tend to be organized in a topical manner using levels of heading. And that just helps to keep us organized and collected, and it keeps us from wandering from one topic to another and back to the first one. Think of it as a loose outline with the levels of heading, and then you'll fill in the information beneath. With regards to the how-tos, you want to make sure you use evidence. So you'll use several sources when making a point. Avoid trying to make a point with only one source. You provide this evidence to show that what you were saying is valid. So you will want to have several sources behind each of your major items. You'll select only the most important points to highlight in each review, and you want to paraphrase whenever possible. Don't sprinkle in quotes, direct quotes everywhere. Save direct quotations only for a statement that is so eloquent, so moving that you cannot possibly paraphrase it without losing some of the meaning. I have posted several samples in Canvas, and what you can do is take a look at some professional literature reviews. There are a variety of topics up in there, and you don't have to read all of them, but you do want to take a look at them and see how they are set up and how they are written, so that you have a better idea of how to prepare this assignment. Also, I've posted an assignment rubric in Canvas for you as well, so be sure to use that as you are crafting your assignment. And that's it. If you have any questions, any problems with accessing any of the files, let me know. We can set up as many video conferences to discuss this as you need.